We are live. Excellent. Do we know if anybody has joined us yet?
We're going to check. We can wait for some people to come on board. Oh, we've got one person. We'll get our first person.
Excellent. We are now live for our cruise chats for Canadians. And we'll wait a couple of minutes before we get started and see how many people we can have join us.
We've got lots of people who are just coming off cruises, so lots to share tonight on top of our topics, which is exciting.
Yeah, our topics tonight will be Destination Rome, presented by Carrie. And then we have our onboard booking, and Tina will talk to us about that. And we also have Karen here on the sidelines.
Karen just got back from an awesome cruise. I was following along on our group. It looked amazing.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was crazy good. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week on Wednesday.
Yeah. We always have to deal with a little bit of jet lag when we come from Europe, I guess.
Absolutely. It's just part of the deal, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we can probably get started, I think, Luke. We've got a few people on, and we want to be respectful of everyone's time, and others can join us as they come on board.
Excellent. Well, to all of those that are online, welcome to our cruise chat for Canadians. With me today, we have Tina, Carrie, myself, Luke, and we have Karen. And I'd like to welcome everybody to our chat. Tonight we're going to cover two key elements, one of which is the destination highlights, which Carrie will talk to us about the lovely destination of Rome. And then for a spotlight discussion tonight, we have booking on board with Tina. And once those two parts of our presentation have been done, we'll open up the channel for questions, and we'll get our lovely agents here to answer those questions. And at the end, we have a prize, and we'll spin that wheel to see who wins a prize tonight. So let's hand it off to Carrie, and let's get started. Oh.
Hi.
Who are we? Oh, we're Vacations for Canadians. We're an online cruise agency where we sell various cruises based on different cruise lines: Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Azamara, and a long list of them. We're here to help you find that perfect cruise, get you booked in. We offer services such as booking your cruise, helping you find the itineraries you're looking for, destinations, answer any questions related to your cruise experience. And without further ado, I guess we'll jump in now to get Carrie to talk to us about Rome.
Hi, everybody. So we'll turn to the next slide. So a lot of people I know this summer, or they have been or about to go to Rome, Italy. So it's a popular cruise port for pre-cruise or post-cruise. A lot of cruises. This is one of the most popular embarkations or debarkation destinations, along with Barcelona and Athens for those Mediterranean cruises. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about Rome because I know a lot of people go there pre-cruise and then catch their cruise from just outside of Rome in Slovakia. So just to give a little bit of information about Rome and how they can plan for that vacation. So we'll go to the next slide. And this is the subway station. So for anyone that has never been to Europe, the trains are amazing. Sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking the first time you ever do it. But honestly, it's the best way to go 9 times out of 10. Private transfers are nice, but sometimes it's even longer to travel through via a bus or other means of transportation, such as renting a car. So I just wanted to show the subway station may look a little scary. There's 3 main lines in Europe or in Rome. So there's an A line, a B line, and a C line. And if we look where that blue and the red lines intersect, that's the majority of downtown Rome that you will need to hit. Everywhere it can be walking distance if you prefer to walk. But I really suggest hopping on the subway map in Rome to get from different locations, all the big tourist sites, Termini, which is the main train station that will get you from the airport, Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain, as well as Vatican City. So all those are on the red line, and then 2 stops on the purple line or blue line is you would see the Colosseum. So these are the major tourist attractions that you will hit in Rome. So next slide. So this is just a map of where Rome is to give you a visual. This red circle at the bottom is the airport. So that's where you would fly in. It's Fiumicino. So that's the airport. And then it's about a half-hour, 32-minute train ride from the airport to downtown Rome. It leaves every 20 minutes and it costs about 14 euro. This is a great way to get into the city after you land. If you are tired, then by all means, it is. I would get a transfer using a bus. If you don't feel like trying to navigate your way through that train station on the first day after being jet lagged and everything, that's another option. Once you land, there are many options once you get into the airport. So you can pre-plan or pick up a transfer once you arrive at that airport. The Leonardo Express, so that's the train I mentioned, it leaves every 20 minutes, 14 euro. There is also a shuttle bus that you can take. It's 50 minutes to the downtown core for 7 euro per person. So very economical. If we look, I'll go back to this later. The top red circle is Slovakia. So that's where the cruise port is. And it's about an hour train ride from downtown Rome. You would take the Trenitalia train out of Termini, which is the main train station. It's about $8 per person, and it's about an hour train ride. Very similar to our Toronto native GO train. So we'll go to the next slide. So very doable. So I would recommend staying in Rome or just outside of Rome if you're going to be there for a few days and want to experience downtown Rome. If not, you can find more economical locations for a hotel near the airport or near the cruise port as well. So now let's get into some of the tourist attractions with Rome. So first being Vatican City. So as I mentioned, subway is excellent way to go. You would go to the San Pietro stop to hit Vatican City, and then it's a short walk from there. So Vatican City is the smallest state in the world, has a population of 920. So here is where you're going to visit the St. Peter's Basilica, which is the famous Catholic church. So that's the Pope's church. It was built, so St. Peter's, it was named after St. Peter's, which is one of the 12 disciples. St. Peter was crucified, and he was crucified at this exact location. So the tomb is actually in the basilica itself, and there's a large, it's right under the dome. So you can see that on the tour. When you're going into churches in Rome, specifically St. Peter's Basilica, I make sure you are wearing long pants, or your knees, for the females, your knees are covered and your shoulders are covered. So no tank tops, shorts. I recommend, it is very hot in the summer. We can get 30 plus degrees Celsius in those summer months in Rome. So a long skirt or a very light pair of pants would be ideal. And then you can just bring a scarf and put it over your shoulders to walk into the basilicas. There's a lot of people that will sell the scarves just out front, but if you bring your own, you won't have to purchase one. To get into the basilica, another thing you'll see is the Vatican museums. So that's where Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel is connected to. So you will see that. It is free to get into the Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica, but I would recommend getting a ticket just to skip the line. So the queues in the summer can be up to 2 hours. So it's always ideal to get a ticket, just pay a little bit and not waste your time standing in line. It can be very hot. So we have on our website, the Vacations for Canadians website, we do have a section for shore excursions. So myself personally, that's where I went, and Viator has great skip the line tours for these tourist locations in Rome. So we'll go to the next slide. So this is another stop that I would highly recommend in doing a tour. So this is another one where I would recommend getting a pass to make sure you get access. So when you go in with the basic price, you don't have access to the full grounds of the Colosseum. So this is one we would recommend getting tickets to, so you can see the arena itself, the Gate of Death. So the Gate of Death is where all the people that were killed in battle, I guess, were carried out at the end of the day. So they go through that Gate of Death, which is neat to see. And then they also have the underground. So this was just open to visitors in 2021. So it's kind of a labyrinth maze that's underground, and they will give the tour, but it has like trap doors where they would allow lions to be brought up to the arena. So very interesting to see and highly recommended. If you do get a chance to go to the Colosseum, I would recommend making sure the tickets include the underground as well. This, if you wanted to see the Colosseum, so again, located at the Piazza del Colosso, and if you were taking that subway, you would go to the Colosso station, which is on the B line. And then we'll go to the next slide. So the all famous Spanish Steps. So this is the most popular piazza in Rome. what it is, it's popular because of a old movie called Roman Holiday, starring Audrey Hepburn. So what it is at the top of the steps is the French church. At midway is the Embassy of Spain. And then at the bottom, it's the Holy See. So these were called the Spanish Steps, even though the French actually paid for them to be built. Should be the French Steps, but they are the Spanish Steps. And it symbolizes the Holy Trinity. So the three locations represents the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. But at the piazza, so it is against the law to sit on the stairs, but you can walk up and down them. But there are many things. They have the first McDonald's located there. My daughter was just there a few weeks ago. Different menu than they do have in North America. So it's neat to see, even though it is an American chain. They do have lots of gelato. So it's a great place to walk around to if you want to see some shops or just relax and just take in the Italian culture, the food, the cappuccino, the gelato, as I mentioned, and maybe a dinner outside on a patio would be a great spot at the Spanish Steps. So located, if we go to the next slide, so located about 7-minute walk. If we'll move to the next slide. So about I have a wrong picture, but this is meant to be the Trevi Fountain. So 7 minutes from the Spanish Steps, you can easily walk there. I would walk from the Spanish Steps only because the Trevi Fountain is located in the middle of a lot of buildings. So there isn't a subway station close to it. So you are going to have to walk a little bit. The legend with the Trevi Fountain is you throw in a coin. So you turn around, throw a coin behind you, and then look back at the water as the coin's hitting the water. And that's supposed to be the I guess the legend is that's a guaranteed repeat visit to the city. So if you throw another coin in, it could mean a love affair or even mean a wedding. So these are just a few legends with the Trevi Fountain. So if you, fun fact for the Trevi Fountain, there's so many coins being thrown in there with so many visitors. They actually clean it out, all the euro, and it equates to 1.4 million euro a year. That was thrown in the fountain in 2022. So what they do with that money, it is all donated. So feel free to make a wish and then feel good that the money is being donated and going somewhere important. And we'll go to the next slide. So again, I mentioned spending a few days in Rome. I would just get your sleep when you fly in, get your sleep back to normal, as there is a lot of jet lag. And it's a great city, walk around, do the tourist things, but also take some time, just walk down the streets. It's an amazing country, anywhere in Italy. So just enjoy it and take it in and try not to jam so much touristy things in, but make sure you have enough days to really enjoy the city. It is a great city. So again, I mentioned from Rome, then you can board your ship. So I would recommend checking out of your hotel. Regular time is about 11 or 12 in the afternoon. And then you can go to Termini train station to the cruise port in Savecchia. So once you arrive there, so again, that's about $8 a person. Once you arrive there, there is a shuttle service. So it's about a mile from the actual cruise port itself, the train station. There's a shuttle service, and it's €6 each, or you can feel free to walk. I would recommend paying the €6. It's a bus, you just hop on. It's not far. You bring your luggage, carry it on. Very similar to an airport shuttle, but it is cobblestone streets and it is hot. So highly recommended to not even start to walk, just do the shuttle. But if you're inclined to walk, that's great as well. I just wanted to mention, I keep mentioning that subway. So it is very economical and quick, probably the fastest way to travel within the city. So it cost €1.50 per person. So that's for 100 minutes. So you can keep using it until that 100 minutes is up. Or you can buy a pass. If you're there for 24 hours and you're going to see all those sites in one day, for €7, you can get a day pass. And if you're going to be there for a few days, you can get a 48-hour pass for €12.50 or 72-hour for €18. So great way to travel within the city itself. And that's all I have for today. So highly recommend book that Mediterranean cruise, and I'll pass it on to Tina.
Excellent. Thanks, Carrie. One quick question. How many days do you recommend spending in Rome before or after the cruise? Just to give people an idea of, to be able to cover some of those many spots and touristy things that you pointed out, the stairs and the fountain and so on.
Yeah, so great question. I would recommend minimum 2 full days. So fly in. So I would say at least 2 nights, but recommend 3. As I mentioned, you can do the city. I stayed right near Trevi Fountain, right in the middle of everything, literally around the corner, 5 steps away from Trevi Fountain. So I was at one of the locations, but was able to walk all the way to Vatican City in about an hour. So it is a long walk. But if you're an active person and you're able to do it, we saw a lot of sites on the way, and we did take our time to get there. But I would recommend slowing it down and taking more days in Rome so you can enjoy the culture. It's just sit, relax, and people watch. It's amazing.
Excellent.
Have that cappuccino.
Excellent. Thanks, Carrie. Awesome destination description for Rome, and I'm sure a lot of us will be eager to want to book that next cruise and head over to Rome to visit some of those places. Now off to Tina to talk to us about onboard booking.
Hello, everybody. So I am going to talk about a topic that doesn't seem to get enough notice. Because honestly, if you're going to ask me if you should do an onboard booking, I'm going to say absolutely every time. If you are enjoying your cruise and you think that you want to sail on that same cruise line again, you should be doing an onboard booking, which means based on numbers of cruisers that go back to the same cruise line over and over again, it's almost 100% that people should be booking on board while they're on their sailing. So I'm going to go over our top 7 cruise lines and just talk about the options because some of them do have more than one option. So I just wanted to let you know a little bit ahead before we get into the cruise lines themselves. If you are on board with one of our sailings that we booked for you and you want to buy an onboard booking, you don't have to do anything. It automatically gets transferred back to our agency. They send us an email and we take over the booking from there. If you're on board with another agency or not an agency at all, that you did your booking direct, you can still have it attributed to us in a few different ways. One is you can either give them our phone number, So 2898122355, and it'll come up at the end of this presentation, I think. Or the other one is you can just book direct, and then within, usually it's 15 days for Norwegian, but I believe it's 30 days with everybody else, that you have an opportunity to transfer it over to us at that point. So, and why do you want to transfer it over? Well, first of all, you don't have to pay for us. The cruise line pays for us. So you're getting our services and it doesn't cost you anymore. And secondly, we can often reprice or add extra perks and amenities. So it's a really good idea to reach out to us. At minimum, we can match the price, match everything, all the amenities and everything. But for sure, we can definitely get you our services, which, we're a team of experts here. So you have us on hand now. You can ask us any questions you've got, and we're there to help you every step of the way. And then, a lot of times we can flip it into some kind of a group space or exclusive rates or amenity departure dates that have extra perks on it. So any questions, like if you're on the sailing and you're not sure what to do, just send us an email. Reach out to one of our agents. If you're already working with someone, reach out to them directly. If not, send us an email into sales@vacationsforcanadians.com, and we're happy to answer your questions for you. Okay, so here we go. We are going to talk about celebrity first. So why would you want to book on a celebrity cruise? Well, you can see right there that you can actually get up to $500 in US dollars onboard credit. So, that turns into quite a bit of money if especially when you're Canadian, it's a lot of money. So $500 is going to get you a whack load of specialty dinings, something really nice at the stores. Maybe you want to go to the spa. Maybe you want to use it towards a shore excursion. So there's lots of options. But there's, you can look at the chart and see, okay, this is what I want to book, and this is how many nights it is, and that's the onboard credit that I'm going to get. Now, do you know the sailing that you want to book, or do you want to just hold a placeholder? So they have something called book later and book now. So book now is basically, your sailing. So you're going to pick your sailing. You can either choose a refundable deposit or a non-refundable deposit, keeping in mind that whatever you choose, if you want to change the sailing later, it will affect whether you have refundable or non-refundable as to whether there's a fee to move the sailing. So they do have a $100 per person fee to move the sailing if it's non-refundable. If it's refundable, yeah, absolutely. You can move that sailing around and there's no fee. Then we have the book later. So say you don't know what sailing you want, but you do know that you want to secure a placeholder so that you can get this onboard credit. So you pay your $100 a person. It's non-refundable, and you do need to choose a sailing within 6 months if you want to get the onboard credit that's attached to that. But again, you're on the ship, reach out to us, and we can walk you through what makes the most sense. Okay, next slide. Okay, the next one we have is Norwegian. So, oh, nope, sorry. Yep. They have also a couple of different options, and they're a little bit different than everybody else. So if you're on the cruise, you can buy a cruise next credit, and you can buy 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can see on the chart here, if you buy one $250 cruise next credit, you get $100 free onboard credit. So, but if you buy up to 4, you can get $500 US onboard credit. So, that's kind of nice. It's if you buy 4 credits, you get $500. But the other thing is that they often have the double up cruise next credit sale on. So the nice thing about that is you go to book your next cruise and they allow you to use double. And once in a while, they even have a triple. So if you had 3 of those cruise next credits, you could get $750 towards your cruise that you've already paid for, and you're getting $375 in onboard credits. So that's pretty sweet deal. They are transferable. You can name change them. Then they came up with something during COVID called Cruise First, and they're the only ones that I know that are doing this. It's a non-refundable deposit, but you don't buy it when you're on the ship. You actually buy it when you're at home, and you don't ever have had to have sailed Norwegian before. They don't expire. They are transferable. You have to purchase them, it has to be a sailing that's at least 120 days away. And you can buy them online or through us and then buy your cruise right after. So you can be at home. You've never sailed on Norwegian before. You go ahead and get yourself a cruise first credit. They are either $150 or $250, depending on if there's a sale on, and they double in value. So if you're looking, we'll advertise on our social media sites. If there's a $250 sale, we'll definitely be putting it up on our social media and let you know. If you buy a $250 cruise first coupon, it will double in value. So when you put it on your sailing, it now becomes $500 towards your sailing. Okay. There is no onboard credit attached to it, but you do get double your money towards your sailing. And you, like I said, you don't have to be on the ship. Okay. Next one. Okay. Disney. So Disney's a little bit different. They do a discount of 10%. So basically you put a $250 deposit while you're on the sailing. You can refund it if you don't want it later. You have to sail within 24 months. There are blackout dates with Disney, which there isn't on the other cruise lines. And you get a reduced deposit and a 10% discount on your next cruise. Okay, next one. Next, we have My Next Virgin Voyage, and we love these. We actually have some of these that you can buy off of us because they are transferable. So we can sell you some My Next Virgin Voyages, and ours are a little bit different in value. They're actually from the first time My Next Virgin Voyage came out. They have now since come out with a new program. So we have the old ones. I think they're actually valued a little bit higher. But anyway, so you can see here, you know, if you were to do want to buy a 6 to 8 night sailing, you're going to get onboard credit and you're going to get a discount on your cruise. So, and this is all in US dollars. So they will transfer this into Canadian dollars if you do want to book your cruise in Canadian funds. And it starts with just a $300 deposit. You can transfer it once. You can buy up to 4 on the ship. And I think that's, and it's only can be used for sea terrace and above. Okay. All right. Next one, please. Okay. Royal Caribbean, pretty similar to Celebrity in their onboard booking offers. They have a next cruise where you know the sailing, and then they also have a next cruise, which is an open sailing. So if you buy the next cruise on the ship and you know the sailing, your deposit's going to be anywhere from $100 to $450 per person. You can choose again whether you pick a refundable or a non-refundable. So typically refundable fares are more expensive, but you can get all your money back and you can change your sailing. And same with Celebrity, if you change your sailing under a non-refundable deposit, there is a small fee attached to that. And the benefits are, I mean, you can see here a grand suite and above, 10 nights plus, you're up to $600 US onboard credit. Now, if you don't know what the sailing is and you're on the ship and you just want to buy one of those open credits, it's $200, again, non-refundable. You need to pick your sailing within 2 months if you want to get the onboard credit. And actually, I should have mentioned, you can actually do onboard credit or savings. It's up to you. And these amounts that are in US will be transferred into Canadian if you purchase your cruise in Canadian. And these are transferable. So you'll often find if one of us is on a Royal Caribbean ship, like I recently was on the Utopia, I will post out and say, does anybody want one of these next cruise certificates? While I'm here, I'll buy it for you. You know, you reimburse us. And now I can transfer it over to you and you get the onboard credit or the savings on your next cruise. All right, next one. Okay, we have Holland America. So this one's a little bit more complicated in that it's got different amounts. So basically what I'll tell you is one is just double of the other. So if you want to buy, you don't know what your sailing is and you want to buy an open passage, you could buy these future cruise deposits for, I believe they're $200. Does it say on here? Or no, maybe, I think maybe it's just a reduced deposit what their regular deposit is. you receive up to $200 onboard credit per person. So you can see here that's the suites, and that's a 51-day or longer sailing. So they have quite long sailings with Holland America. And the coupon is, or the credit is good for 4 years. Now, if you know the sailing that you want, you actually get double the onboard credit, and they allow you to buy extras for family and friends, which is kind of neat. So, you know, maybe they don't have to be on the sailing with you, and you could buy a couple of extras, have them transferred over or named right there, and they're getting double that onboard credit as well as you. So it's up to $400 now per person onboard credit. Okay. All right, next one. Okay, so we have Princess. So with Princess, you can buy one of these credits on the ship, or actually we'll call it a deposit, because future cruise credits can be a little bit different than future cruise deposits. You have 1 year to book it, so it doesn't have to be 1 year to sail, but you do have 1 year to pick your sailing date. It's only a $200 deposit, and you receive up to $150 onboard credit per person. And if you don't use it, it's refunded to you. So it is fully refundable. Okay, I think that was the last slide. Okay, so I just want to take an opportunity here to let you know again that you want to make a comment in the comment section. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and that is going to enter you into our prize giveaway at the end after our Q&A. All right, so Luke, do you want to take over from here?
Sure. Like Tina said, if you have any questions or you want to ask for any recommendations, please feel free to put them in a comment, and we'll read them as they come in. And yeah, let's see here.
So we do have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
So we have our first question from James. He asked, will Celebrity or Royal allow Silver Seas bookings through next cruise while on board? I know Celebrity, you can book a Royal cruise and vice versa based on my last sailing.
Good question. Tina, can you help us out here?
I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't think so. But that would be something that we'll have, unless Carrie knows the answer, it'll have to be something that we'll have to look into and get back to you, James.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Excellent. Any more questions?
Well, we can definitely, I would just say we can definitely look that up, and we can even post that on our Facebook page for you so you can see it there, because I know James is on our group.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, I guess we don't have any more questions, so I guess we'll move on to our next section of our webinar. Prize giveaway.
So that's our prize giveaway. Yeah, so today we're giving away a Vacations for Canadians water bottle. It was really hot when we were putting this together. And so I thought that'd be a great prize. It's a little cooler today, but you can never have too many water bottles. So we'll do a draw for that. Last chance to say hello in the comments if you want your name entered. And then we're going to go.
Excellent. So you have everybody lined up in our draw wheel?
We do. I'm just getting that up on board here. And Google was kind enough to put a cruising ad on my screen. All right. So we should be able to see that. And here we go.
There she goes. And
Carmen, congratulations. So I'm going to put my email address in the comments, and if you can just send me an email with your mailing address, and we will get that prize out to you.
Excellent. Congratulations, Carmen, on the water bottle. Excellent.
So just also, I just want to say something quick. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt everybody here or anyone here. But if you've ever thought of sailing with Virgin, we have another webinar tomorrow night live on Facebook with Sean from Virgin Voyages, and he's going to be talking to us all about sailing adults only. So no kids at sea. You can leave the kids at home, or if you don't have kids, you don't have to be surrounded with them. So we're going to talk all about Virgin Voyages. There's going to be a show offer, and they're our supplier of the month. So lots of fun coming up tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Excellent. And yeah, I think that's pretty well it for this week. On the screen, we have our contact information. Our phone number is 289-812-2355. For any inquiries, you can contact us at sales@vacationsforcanadians.com, or you can also go to vacationsforcanadian.com. Under agents, there's a contact list there with all the different agents. So if you want to reach out to your agents and you forgot their email address, it's listed there. Or if you want to pick a new you need an agent, we have that information on the contact us page. And on that note, anybody else want to say anything before we part ways and give people back their evening so they can do their evening stuff and get ready for work tomorrow?
Thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you guys, and good night.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night, all.